Hi, this is Shadi. Today we're going to be looking at a very important video and a video or an incident that thankfully ended very well. It is something that gives a lot of hope. Judo is not just a sport, it is about defending against attacks, but like we always say, it's not to hurt if we can both go undamaged and uninjured. That's the best scenario, and also good technique. You don't really need to hurt someone, and today we're going to be looking at exactly that. And there's weapons, and it's one of those cases where the heart plays a big role, and as the old saying goes, the sword in the hand of the coward is useless. So it's a very interesting video, but before we do any of that, if you haven't already, please check out my book, The Origins and History of Judo, translation of a manuscript from 1903. Now, let's take a look at it. Here someone takes out a baseball bat and clearly ready to fight, or what it looks like ready to fight, but the other guy absolutely charges him. Look at how he pries it out of his hands and then throws it away, and then just shows very good, strong attitude, and then tells him to get back in his car, and nobody got hurt. Absolutely wonderful to watch. And again, it doesn't have to be a thrust like here. This is a very old Judo technique. You see it in Aikido, old Jiu-Jitsu, but here to create that twist where they get stuck and they have to let it go. This is exactly how that man did it. I don't know his training background, but I'm guessing he's not a Judo or Aikido black belt or whatever it may be. I think he just used basic physics, mechanics, and just a lot of heart. That was very impressive to watch, just how he went out, got close, closed the distance, especially with weapons like these. If you close the distance, they become less and less harmful. You don't stand very far and flinching, and then if they swing, it becomes very scary every time they do it. No, he closed that distance because that weapon cannot slice, it cannot fire a bullet, it cannot do any of that. So he had a lot of courage. That's something very important. Now, when it comes to self-defense, understand something, guys. It's not just if he swings this way, you do this. If he does this, you do that. It's never the case. It's just like uchikomi and nagekomi. They're very much streamlined, but they're a framework for something that you can do and personalize in however way you want. You do these big pulls, you do these repetitions that look exactly like each other, but then when you take the same principles and apply them to combat, it can look something completely different. Just like scales in music, when you take them and start composing, you'll create your own music, but they're based on the same thing. It's a big framework. Technical learning is big, but it's not just that. There's a lot of repetition that should be done. There's a lot of angles where you can attack things. I've spoken with George Rego recently of Judo, and he just explained it. It's just like everything else. You have to repeat, and then slightly make it more difficult, more challenging, and then this type of movement becomes more second nature. While what we do in sport judo or sport jiu-jitsu is just trying to reach for that grip and then engaging, and that's not how real life works. Now, can you take these throws into the outside and do a lot of damage? Yes, you can, but often you have to handle things like this with a lot of courage, with a lot of attitude. If someone is truly showing malicious intent, like taking out a bat, coming at you and screaming, show courage. Some people will thrive on fear, and actually that's how bullies do it. They see you scared, they'll go even further. Sometimes you just have to put a bully in their place, show them, hey, I'm not afraid, and especially if there's nowhere to go, that's ideal. And And of course, there's some times where you just have to say, hey, excuse me, it was on me, and then just walk away. But if they're clearly not backing down, having heart is important. And that's one thing about self-defense. Everyone says it. Self-defense is psychological, and it is. So one other thing that people should do, and if self-defense is being taught properly, in my opinion, is the same way coaches sit their athletes and they watch their competitions or they watch the high level. We should watch these. As dark as some of them are, we should watch them, because we have to really know what goes on out there. Some of them gives a lot of hope, like this one, and some are actually very dark. And you assess the entire situation. Where are they? Is it at night? Is it during the day? Are they next to like pubs and clubs, and or is it an isolated parking lot? All these you have to assess. Was he ambushed? Is it just something that could have been completely avoidable? Someone that's easily provoked, and he's a hothead and nobody messes with him. This type of dude. What is it? Here, the same thing. He's on the highway. He cannot run away. He cannot just get in his car. Clearly, the guy is coming at him with a baseball bat. What do? You have all these things that can be discussed, but self-defense is not just kata or technique. There's just so much that goes into it. Just like sports judo, strategies, attitude, how you go into a fight. It's all the same, but I would say the stakes when it comes to self-defense are much, much higher. So there's just a lot of things that can be done when it comes to self-defense, learning and training. And I personally should not think that we should let go of Kano's vision that self-defense or is just it's pointless, therefore we should not do it. That's by every definition of the word an appeal to futility, as they call it. And the goal will forever be to fend off attacks and create a better society. I don't care how many medals are in your cabinet. If you're not doing something and giving back, in my opinion, your training is not as valuable as you think it is. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. And especially when it comes to something like judo, because that was the goal. The goal is not to just create greatness and champions. With all due respect to the champions, of course, but that's not the only thing about it. So if you have anything to add, let me know down below. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.